Nuclear bomb ticks down to annihilate New York City in just 72 hours. With the Syndicate's killers closing in and a traitor lurking in her inner circle, can she crack the Silent Storm's deadly riddle before it's too late? Emily Carter, a 34-year-old former CIA operative, works as a clerk in a small library in Boothbay Harbor, Maine. Her eyes carry the weight of an old pain. 5 years ago, during a covert mission in Istanbul, someone betrayed her, and her partner, Jake Miller, was presumed dead. Emily turned in her CIA badge, changed her name, and now lives a quiet, solitary life. At night, as Emily locks up the library, an anonymous email pings her old burner phone. The subject reads, "The Silent Storm approaches." Attached is an encrypted file that only her old CIA decryption key can unlock. When she opens it, a message appears. 72 hour, New York City, nuclear threat, trust no one. JM, her heart races. JM. Jake Miller? Could he really be alive, or is this a dangerous trap meant to ensnare her? Emily clutches the locket in her hands, lost in thought. Do I hide or do I fight? Her heart tells her Jake might still be out there, and she has to take one last risk for him. Emily doesn't have much time to decide. The encrypted file contains a blueprint, a small but deadly nuclear device capable of destroying Times Square in New York City. Her old CIA training kicks in, but fear creeps in too. Can she return to the world where she lost everything? In a flashback, Emily and Jake are on a rooftop in Istanbul joking after a mission. Jake hands her the locket and says, "This is my promise, Em. No matter what, I'll find you." Now Emily touches the locket and whispers to herself, "I'm coming, Jake." She packs her old gear into a backpack, a tactical knife, a burner phone, a concealed 9mm pistol, and an encrypted comms device. She lies to her library boss about a medical emergency, catches a bus to New York City. On the bus, an elderly veteran strikes up a conversation and tells her, "Real heroes don't pick their battles, kid. The battles pick them." His words ignite the underdog spirit inside. She's not just fighting for herself, but for thousands of innocent lives. As the bus cruises along the highway, Emily notices a black SUV quietly tailing them. She pulls her hood up and slinks lower in her seat, checking her pistol ready for trouble. The SUV suddenly speeds up, trying to overtake the bus, but at the last second, it vanishes into the night. Her heart pounds. This is the first sign someone's tracking her. Emily follows the coordinates from the message, leading her to an abandoned warehouse near Times Square in New York City. Inside, she finds a dead drop, a microchip containing the sinister plans of a terrorist group called the Syndicate, along with an audio recording. Jake's voice crackles through, "Em, if you're hearing this, I'm alive. The Syndicate's got me. Find the architect." Her heart sinks. Jake's alive, but in grave danger. To decode the microchip, Emily heads to an old CIA safe house in New York City, but there she comes face to face with her former mentor, Robert Kane. Robert, a 60-year-old seasoned operative, tells her the Syndicate has a mole inside the CIA, and she'll have to work alone. But something in his eyes feels off, stirring suspicion in her gut. Suddenly, a group of armed men storms the safe house, Syndicate mercenaries. Emily dives into a heart-pounding fight, turning her surroundings into weapons. She smashes a steel chair into one mercenary, slams another through a glass table, and sprays a fire extinguisher to create a cloud of smoke for cover. One mercenary lunges at her with a knife, but she twists his arm and stabs him with his own blade. Grabbing the microchip, she bolts to the rooftop where a sniper's laser dot dances across her chest. She slides into a ventilation duct, escaping by inches, her pulse racing. The microchip's data reveals that the architect is a hacker named Hannah Lee, who's designing the nuclear device's trigger for the Syndicate. Emily sneaks into Hannah's underground bunker in Brooklyn, but Hannah detects her instantly. Hannah, a 25-year-old genius with a tough exterior, holds Emily at gunpoint and demands, "Give me one reason I shouldn't pull the trigger." Emily opens her locket, showing Jake's picture. She pours her heart out, telling Hannah how she was betrayed in Istanbul, how she lost her partner and her identity, but still fights for Jake, because sometimes you fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Her voice trembles with pain and truth, touching Hannah deeply. Hannah reveals the Syndicate is holding her younger brother hostage, forcing her to work for them. Emily looks her in the eyes and says, "I've lost someone I love. I won't let you lose your brother. We'll do this together." Moved by Emily's raw honesty and their shared pain, Hannah trusts her and reveals the nuclear trigger's location, a cargo ship docked on the Hudson River in New York City. As Emily and Hannah prepare to leave the bunker, Robert shows up claiming he's there to help Emily. But Hannah's computer flashes an alert. Signals from Robert's phone are going to the Syndicate. Emily's suspicions are confirmed. Robert is the mole. Robert's hired goons launch a deadly assault on the bunker. Emily and Hannah fight back in sync. Emily slams a goon against a server rack, while Hannah uses an EMP device to disable the goon's comms. In a pulse-pounding chase, they race down a collapsing staircase, dodging bullets and weaving through laser traps. Emily takes out a goon with a spinning kick, knocking him out cold, and Hannah hacks a drone to create a distraction, allowing them to escape. Hannah turns to Emily and says, "No one's ever fought for me like this." Emily smiles and replies, "You're not alone anymore." This moment cements Hannah's trust in her. Emily and Hannah sneak onto a massive cargo ship docked on the Hudson River in New York City, where the nuclear device is hidden. Inside, Emily confronts the Syndicate's leader, Chen Wei, and with him is Jake, chained to a wall, his face bruised and bloodied. Chen Wei reveals that Robert betrayed Emily 5 years ago and now works for the Syndicate. Jake, barely conscious, looks at Emily and murmurs, "You came?" Chen Wei drops a bombshell. Jake has a neural implant in his brain, forcing him to obey the Syndicate's commands. Chen Wei activates it, and Jake, against his will, attacks Emily. Emily gets caught in a gut-wrenching fight with Jake, dodging his punches but refusing to hurt him. She pleads, "Jake, this isn't you! Remember Istanbul! Remember the locket!" In a tense moment, she pins him against a wooden crate and slaps an EMP patch onto his neck, short-circuiting the implant. Jake collapses, freed but weak. Chen Wei and his elite guards now turn on Emily and Hannah. Emily fights them in the cargo hold, wielding chains, steel pipes, and exploding barrels as weapons. In a jaw-dropping sequence, she climbs onto a swinging cargo crate to knock out a guard, then slides down a rope to kick Chen Wei's gun from his hand. Hannah hacks a terminal, turning the ship's security turrets against the Syndicate, sparking chaos. Emily lifts Jake to his feet and says, "I promised I'd find you." Jake, still dazed, replies, "You always keep your promises." Chen Wei escapes, but not before activating the nuclear device's timer. Only 15 minutes remain. Emily, Jake, and Hannah must find the device, but Robert is still on the ship, plotting his next move. Emily, Jake, and Hannah track the nuclear device to the ship's engine room, a maze of roaring machinery and hissing pipes. But Robert blocks their path, an assault rifle in hand. He confesses he joined the Syndicate because the CIA forced him into retirement. "You think you're a hero, Emily? Heroes get forgotten," he sneers. Emily and Robert clash in a brutal showdown. Despite his military training, Emily uses her speed and wits. She bursts a steam pipe to cloud his vision, then wrests his rifle away with a wrench. In a climactic moment, Robert pins her against a ledge, but she drives a hard kick into his knee and shoves him toward a spinning turbine. Robert gets caught in the blades, his screams echoing as he dies. Emily realizes the nuclear device's timer is down to 10 minutes and Chen Wei has set the ship on autopilot toward New York City's shore. If the device detonates, millions will die. Jake, still weak, tells Emily, "You don't have to do this alone." She replies, "I'm not alone. I've got you." Their bond grows stronger in this moment. Emily, Jake, and Hannah reach the ship's bridge to disable the autopilot, but Chen Wei is waiting, backed by his private security team. He taunts, "You're too late, Carter. The silent storm will burn this city to ashes." An all-out battle erupts. Emily takes on Chen Wei's guards, using the bridge's control panels and loose cables as weapons. In a stunning sequence, she hurls a guard through a glass panel and fells another with a fire axe. Hannah tries to hack the navigation system, but Chen Wei threatens her with a pistol. Jake, summoning his last strength, tackles Chen Wei, giving Emily an opening. Emily and Chen Wei face off in a one-on-one fight, the storm's thunder roaring outside. Chen Wei draws a knife, but Emily dodges swiftly and snatches it from him. With a final strike, she pushes Chen Wei over the bridge's railing and he plummets into the stormy ocean, dead. The nuclear device's timer is now at 5 minutes and the ship is dangerously close to New York City. Emily and Hannah try to disarm the device, but they discover a failsafe. If they shut it down, a secondary explosion will sink the ship. Hannah, terrified for her brother, says, "I can't lose him, Emily." Emily hugs her and promises, "We'll save him. That's my word." Chapter 6, The Storm Unleashed. Emily, Jake, and Hannah remove the nuclear device from the ship and load it onto a speedboat, hoping to get it far from New York City. But the timer is down to 2 minutes and disarming it seems impossible. Hannah reveals the device can be recalibrated for a controlled explosion, but someone has to stay with it to do so. Suddenly the device activates and a small initial blast damages the speedboat. Emily decides to take the device to a nearby uninhabited island and recalibrate it there, even if it costs her life. Emily crashes the speedboat onto the island's shore, evading leftover Syndicate drones trailing them. In a chaotic sequence, Emily and Jake fight the drones. Emily shoots one down with a flare gun and Jake smashes another with a rock. On the island, Emily works on the device's control panel while Hannah gives instructions remotely. The timer hits 30 seconds. Emily recalibrates the device, but she learns the explosion will still be massive. Though the island has no civilians, it's her only option. Jake says, "I'm staying with you." Emily, holding back tears, replies, "No, Jake, live for me." Emily hands Jake the locket and says, "This was always yours." Jake's eyes well up, but she forces him onto the speedboat with Hannah. Chapter 7, The Final Sacrifice. Emily is alone on the island with the device, the timer at 10 seconds. She follows Hannah's instructions, recalibrating it to reduce the blast radius. But at the last second, the device's core goes unstable. She knows the explosion could destroy the island, and her with it. Emily drags the device into a cave, hoping its walls will contain the blast. As the timer hits 0, she throws herself at the cave's entrance, shielding herself with a steel plate. A blinding explosion rocks the island, and part of it collapses. Jake and Hannah, watching from the speedboat, see the blast's light, their hearts breaking. After the explosion, Jake and Hannah return to the island, believing Emily is gone. But under the cave's rubble, they find her alive. She hid behind the steel plate, and the cave absorbed the blast. The nuclear threat is over, and New York City is safe. The Coast Guard rescues Emily, Jake, and Hannah thanks to Hannah's hacked data. The Syndicate's remaining members are arrested. Jake wraps Emily in a hug and says, "You kept your promise again." Emily, weak but smiling, replies, "And you kept mine." Hannah reunites with her brother and looks at Emily like a sister. 6 weeks later, the CIA calls Emily back and offers her the chance to lead an elite covert unit. She meets Hannah, now working in the CIA's cybersecurity division, and gives her a proud nod. Jake, fully recovered, starts training with Emily for a new mission. Emily tucks the locket into a drawer, a sign she's letting go of her past pain. She gazes at the Washington, D.C. skyline and thinks, the storm's over, but the fight never stops. Emily opens a new mission file, and the screen fades to black, with the words, Heroes rise when the storm falls. So that's Emily Carter's story, the ultimate underdog hero.
If you love this story, drop a comment, hit like, share, and subscribe. And if you got another mystery for us to spin into a story, let us know in the comment section. Until then, goodbye and take care, my dear friends.